check out everything we got going on over at the roadredemptionpodcast.com, where we got all the merch. Violently Caffeinated, you guys are loving it on the TikToks and on the gram. More on the TikToks is loving the Violently Caffeinated stuff. Go grab it. I still have the discount code for 15% off is active. I was supposed to turn it off on Monday and just did not because you guys have been so great supporting, so I want to keep that going. It is spring 2022 is the discount code to save you 15% off the entire Road to Redemption podcast store. If you made it this far, please thumbs up the video, subscribe so that way you see everything when we publish it. If you want to see it as soon as I publish it, hit that little dingy bell. What is up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, your grateful host, Cam Williamson. We got a lot of crap to talk about, right? Russia, Ukraine, taking a back seat in today's episode because it's easy to talk about. We don't really have a whole lot of updates. We know that Russia is expected to take over Kiev in the next 3 to 4 days. They're going to try to anyway. We'll see. There's some excitement over the U.S. helping, I believe it's Poland, get some fighter jets over to the Ukraine. And they're trying to do it in a strategic way where it's not an act of war towards Russia from us. That's all I know at this point. What we are talking about is one of the things I tried to warn people about, which is what is happening behind the scenes when all this Russia-Ukraine heightened talks of the United States getting involved. What's going on? Biden is looking at regulating cryptocurrencies. Now, I'll be the first to admit I have not invested much into crypto. I tried it in the beginning when everyone else tossed $50 into it just to see what was going to happen. I don't know much about that. I look at crypto the same way I look at the stock market. It's always the same way. Now, I tried to play, not play the stock market, but that's essentially what it is. I invested in the stock market and tried to be serious with it for a year. I see how it works. I get it. I'm not an expert by any means, but at the end of the day, you see exactly what's going on now with Pelosi and her husband, where they buy stocks, they own the stocks, they know what's about to happen due to bills that they're about to pass that will affect those stocks directly. So before they make big moves, they either buy or sell. Well, that should be illegal as fuck. It's the same thing Martha Stewart went to jail for. The fuck are we talking about, right? So as soon as we started talking about cryptocurrencies to try to get away from, the American dollar, and, a lot of people equate cryptocurrencies to trying to get back to the old way of bartering systems, creating our own currency. Okay, understood. But when people start talking about, well, I'm a crypto millionaire, that's where you lost me. Because it's great. I can play a video game and I can collect 8 million coins on free play mode and just sit there and play and fuck off and do whatever. If there's nothing backing it, if I can't take my Chuck E. Cheese tokens and go to Walmart or Target or Kroger or wherever and buy shit with it, it's fucking pointless. To my life, it might be cool to my status on Fuckville or whatever you play on, but now, over the years, crypto has become more widely accepted. There are some online retailers that accept crypto, and there's betting sites that accept it and stuff like that. Okay, fine. So it's starting to be more widely known. The UFC's biggest sponsors Crypto.com. So I'm not saying that crypto has no place in the future. The thing that I'm trying to get to is now Biden is regulating it in the background while talks of war are going on. Okay? Why? There's regular people making a ton of money off this shit. They are now finding ways through apps like Coinbase and stuff like that to actually transfer these digital encrypted currencies and turn them into American US dollars. Someone is backing that. Now, whether it be PayPal, who also owns different other various payment platforms like Venmo and shit like that, and then you got Cash App and Zelle and all this other shit. Now you look too, Cash App is requiring, or the federal government, Cash App is sending any transactions over $600 a month to the government. to the IRS. So like if you run a small business and most of your stuff is done on like events and you're just getting paid through Cash App, that's a secondary way that they're going to use to track you, which it's fine if you're being honest with your business expenses and stuff. It should be no problem, but it's one of those things too where it's like, okay, so now these things like Cash App and Venmo and PayPal and Zelle that advertise themselves as being non-traditional ways of banking and keeping your money, and cryptocurrencies, which is pretty much the same thing, are all having to or about to be put under the same umbrella as the American dollar, with, being backed by the Federal Reserve and treasuries and stuff like that, because it's being regulated. And as soon as the government starts regulating it, that just means that they're going to play in it. They probably know the stock market game that they've been playing is about to get put on absolute lockdown. So now, let's go in here. Politicians are nothing more than business people that choose to be like instead of CEOs, they're the CEO of Delaware, CEO of Tennessee, like whatever. That's how they look at themselves when they become the senators or the fucking mayors or the governors or, God forbid, the president of the fucking United States. It's frustrating to me because I watched a lot of people think that they were building solid bases off this stuff, and I was rooting for it. I had always had my skepticalness of it, which is like, you guys learn from the mob. Right? When the mob started making too much money, that's when they pissed off the government. The FBI came in, locked that shit down. Why? Because they were taking over New York, Philly, Chicago, shit like that. It was spreading like across the nation. That big businesses were not able to necessarily move in without cooperating and falling under the rules of the mob, and these local mom and pop shops were being protected from big corporate, entities moving into smaller neighborhoods by the mob. And there was all this money being washed through small businesses and stuff like that. Like, guys, the government's not new to the people trying to gain back financial control. People have tried to do it in legal ways, illegal ways, from the beginning of time. As soon as there was money in things to barter with that made one person more valuable than the next, and I can obtain more than you because I have more of these things, whether it be dollars, rocks, pebbles, crystals, whatever the fuck, we instantly turned one against another. Now, every situation dictates who that one and who the other is. Currently, it's the people versus the federal government of the United States, or possibly the world, because to my knowledge, certain cryptocurrencies are accepted all across the world. Now, I know nothing about this. I know like Elon started Dogecoin and it was kind of a joke, but then it kind of took off, so whatever. I know Elon like just sold $6.8 billion worth of shares of one of his companies to like the World Hunger Foundation or something. So like, I'm not saying that all this is completely evil. I am saying, for those of you involved in crypto, and if you base your business around it in any way, or if you operate in the trading of it, I would be more concerned with what exactly is being put into these executive orders when it pertains to cryptocurrency regulation. They're trying to come after influencers, small businesses, creators, people that are making a ton of money off this shit. All this is being brought to light because, again, I always stem back to this. Back in like 2018, I think it was, this thing came out about how Instagram influencers were making like $7 million a year, certain ones. And immediately, Instagram, Facebook, everybody, this is when the federal government starts to give a fuck about Facebook and Instagram, and they want to regulate how information is shared and how people advertise. That's when all that shit started. When they realized how much money was being made by these influencers going, "What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hey, yo, by the way, buy my shit." And they were doing that, and they were being paid through PayPal and Cash App and all this shit. And they go, God bless, that motherfucker made how much? He did what? He started a whole gym and a clothing line. And he's got 2 other businesses. Whoo-wee. Okay. Yep, we're going to go ahead and put a lock on all that shit. So we're going to go and shut down all that engagement unless y'all want to pay for that shit. And we're going to make it expensive and damn near worthless. Also, if you use other apps, we're going to punish you because you don't spend enough time on ours. So we're going to kill your engagement even more. Welcome to our platform. Right? And then you get into certain situations where TikTok comes around and they start doing things where you don't pay for like promoting videos on TikTok with dollars and cents. You use coins. So you can promote a video and you buy like 5,000 coins for $50 or whatever. And then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks ago, it goes, well, we don't call these coins anymore because that's not real. We have to call them dollars and cents. And you know, in America, we use the US dollar. So you are spending X amount of US dollars with TikTok. That is TikTok's cooperation with whatever's about to happen, making crypto fucking useless to the US dollar. Because this is what's going to happen. I'm putting my words on it now. This is what's going to happen. They're going to validate cryptocurrencies. It's going to be worth fucking dick in real time. For whatever reason, they're going to make, you know, say you have 1 Bitcoin, which to all the Bitcoin people right now means you own like $50,000 or some shit. United States is going to go bet. 1 Bitcoin is worth $100. And everyone's going to get pissed. What the fuck? This is supposed to be worth 50 G's. What are you talking about? It's worth $100. Listen to me. It's worth $100. Now y'all are operating in this. You guys are selling NFTs. We haven't even got into that goofy shit yet. Which, fine, we'll go into it here in a minute. You guys are selling NFTs. You're doing all this. Bet. We're going to legitimize it. But you're not going to overtake us, the 1%, overnight. Those of us that are passing laws that are about to try to lock this shit down for future generations, we're in our 70s. We're not going to be around much longer, but we're about to make sure that these last 5 to 10 that we got, you motherfuckers ain't coming for it. You're not living in my neighborhoods. You're not blaring your basses next to me, motherfuckers. No. You're not getting rich while I'm still alive. Not while there's air in my lungs. Fuck y'all. And they're going to sign these executive orders that make it valid, but damn near useless. So, if you have a small business that is uber thriving, you're just about to have a small business again. And you're going to have to learn, within whatever regulations and stipulations that they put in, how to, whatever you finance people would call 10x your profits or dumb shit like that. Fucking fine. Do it. Okay, let's talk about NFTs. You're selling pictures, little clips of motion graphics, videos. You're selling those and you're trademarking them. That's all it is. It's a digital trademark. NFTs, non-fundable tokens, I guess, or non-refundable tokens, whatever it is. Non-fundable tokens. Creators, big artists. I know I hear a lot of people on podcasts talking about they're creating these metaverses, and then you can buy your ticket to their metaverse with cryptocurrencies. And if you buy the NFT with the new album they just dropped, then that gives you exclusive access to like t-shirts and tickets to the tour and special VIP access. Okay, I'm with that. We're just taking VIP experiences to the next level inside of Web3, whatever. Okay, staying with the times. To say that a digitally created monkey, what else is out there? What is it? Frog. Picture of Joe Rogan riding a cheetah with Elon Musk on his back with a fucking rocket launcher. If you think that that's worth $90,000 because someone told you that the conversion of your $14,000 American turned into 90,000 crypto, and then you sold 10,000 of them, which means on paper you're in the stock market and you're being hustled by stock account, people. I forget what stockbrokers. NFT, crypto, Forex traders, these are early day stockbrokers who are going, no, you have to keep turning this into new shit or else it'll what? Liquidate and turn into cash. Cash that we can't back this shit with right now. So don't do that. Be an online millionaire. Stay in Web 3. Keep investing. Keep spending your money. We got your 14 grand investment tied up in whatever the fuck else we're doing. Starting a new kratom company or CBD fucking oils shits or fucking Delta 8, whatever. Whatever the new fad thing is. We gotta learn, man. And we're in very unprecedented times because this is the first time that we're really seeing an active validation by the government of something man created that's another option to the US dollar here in America, at least, that is contesting to the point where the government has to acknowledge it. Just understand. They are about to set new boundaries of what their power is. This is unprecedented. So there's never been a time where the American, outside of really taxes and how much taxes they take from people and stuff like that, there's never been a time where the U.S. government can come in and go, hey, you created something over there. A lot of people seem to like that. I'm going to go ahead and regulate how much of that you can sell, what it's worth, and if you do too much of it and if it gets too successful, I'm going to take half of your shit and I'm going to put you in prison for that. Even though we acted like it was total nonsense for a long time. But now that it's caught traction within the American people, now I guess I have to address it. And I have to regulate it for y'all's protection. So y'all don't get taken advantage of. Okay? I guess there's tons of scam artists in every industry. God knows there's a lot of them in cryptos and stuff like that. I don't know, man. The whole thing, it can be disheartening as a small business or a creator because you look at stuff like this and you go, when people try to rise up and make something of themselves outside of the regular systems that be, once you gain enough traction and you start to actually be something that could be somewhat self-sustaining, there is always that big brother that can step in and go, nope. Sorry, bud. I cut this off at just the moment before you can grow bigger than me. And then there's a battle ensues of who's, it's a pissing contest. Does the federal government have the right to regulate cryptocurrencies, NFTs, stuff like that? If the reason that they've been able to regulate the US dollar is because it's a part of the Federal Reserve, which no one really knows what the fuck that is. It's not a part of the federal government. It's a separate thing that can't be audited and all this stuff. That's what backs our dollar, which we all know is fucking useless, especially after a 2.5-year pandemic and a terrible recession. But now cryptos, where people are finding a way to still go about their lives and not just survive, but thrive and flourish and actually have nice shit. Now the government goes, we'll send y'all $2,000 a month. What I will not let you do is take that $2,000, invest 1,000 of it, and 10x that into 10 grand within a week by Forex trading. No. I'm going to make that Bitcoin worth dick. I'm going to take a bunch of that shit. By the way, in the next 5 to 8 months, they'll federally legalize weed. We're going to take all that tax money too. Because people are coming for Opie. It's hard. We're going to take all that money right before election time. And everyone's going to start spewing their shit. I promise I'm not going to regulate your cryptos and I'm going to legalize your weed and you're going to have the strongest strain on every street corner. They're about to do all the sing-songy dance shit. Y'all forget, the midterms are coming up. Midterms are coming up. That's why we're talking about wars and cryptos, and it's funny. It becomes funny when you just sit back and watch. It's like a revolving door, a three-ring circus that you can kind of just chill and go, oh, I've seen this monkey show before. This clown act is getting old, man. The makeup's wearing off. The clowns are losing their gusto. They don't have the same energy to keep up the show anymore. They're getting old. Show's been going on too long. The crowd has figured out the smoke and mirrors of it all. And I think people are really, really fucking tired of being broke and being powerless and feeling like as an individual they're voiceless, and that everything that they do in life could be for nothing. That's a hard thing to wake up and try to do everything that you do when you don't ultimately believe it could end up for much. I think that's why it's so easy to buy into the American dream, because you're promised if you go to work this much, make this much money, you can save up once a year, take the family to Florida, do a vacation, have nice dinners on the weekends, kids can play ball, you make a community, you grow up in a cul-de-sac. You can do that. Financially, statistically, Moneyball, we can make that work. But that's the best you're going to be able to do. You might, if you do great at your construction job or your whatever, you start your own business and you let it thrive and you do more than what's expected of those typical 9-to-5s, well, then you become extraordinary, and then you could have a boat that maybe you could play with on the weekend. But don't forget, you're paying taxes through all that. Like it's tax season now, and something kind of hit me. It's like you are not a successful business or anything if you're not paying taxes. If you're getting a tax return at the end of every year, you're probably not a successful, profiting business. Because you have to pay a shitload in taxes when you make a good amount of money offline in US dollars. Not, I don't know what the fuck you do when you accept like merch orders from crypto and stuff. I can't speak to that. But it does get exhausting, like even with the powers of Google, like dealing with that shit, where it's like I own all my shit. There's no licensing deals here. I own everything that's mine. I create everything. No one tells me what I can and can't talk about, say, what my show looks like. No one tells me shit. But I created my show on the platform of free speech and being able to speak my mind and talk about kind of raw things that a lot of people would otherwise be uncomfortable talking about. And in today's day and age, you have to worry about, if I talk about suicide, are they going to cut my engagement down to 90% because I didn't put a trigger warning in the beginning? So we can't even talk about things that could save someone's life because it could be too sensitive for someone to hear. So while I don't work for someone, am I being censored? Sure, that's where you see a lot of people that go to Supercast and what's the other one? Patreon and stuff like that. I've never believed in the bait and switch type, method, which is I give you all this content for free. You become a supporter of it. Once I see that you're a supporter of it, then I put it behind a paywall because I know that I'm a part of your routine and you enjoy my show and you want to see it, and you make it a part of your relaxation time to kick back and hang out with Cam. So I appreciate every single individual that does that. So I don't want to have to ever be like, hey guys, I can't afford to do this shit on my own anymore, so I need you guys to come over here to Patreon and pay $5 a month to keep the show that I originally had for free. Like, nah, fuck all that. Fuck all that. It's my show. I make it because I love it, and I make it because it's my journey, and it's my creative outlet. I don't want to put it behind a paywall. The day that I guess I ever stop doing my shows or anything that I do just for free on YouTube or, whatever other apps I do it on, which is like TikTok, and I still use Instagram a very little bit, but I'm pretty much shutting down my Instagram now. TikTok, YouTube, stuff like that. The day I move, it'll be because Netflix or a big streaming platform called and go, hey, we want to do a licensing deal for a couple of years and put you and all your content on this platform exclusively. And then I'll probably tell you guys, hey, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing, follow me on social media. And if you want to keep watching the show, it's going to be over here for a little bit. But it'll never be a situation where it's like and I'm learning from people like Rogan. I'm learning what to do and what not to do. He signed a 3-year, $100 million Spotify deal. A lot of people transferred over to Spotify. He got into a huge controversy. Everyone wondered, is Spotify going to drop him? Well, no. Nothing really happened to Rogan because of that. Nothing negative. He got attacked. His show got blown up. Spotify, went down yesterday, I guess, with whatever that other app is. Starts with a C. I don't use it, but I guess Spotify goes down and their stock rises back up. Like, it's all this crazy, silly shit that I'm trying to watch, but you have to watch it completely emotionally disconnected from it. If you're going to try to actually be involved in it, stock markets, cryptos, NFTs, social media algorithms, if you get all caught up in like what's trending and what people are saying is the new thing, you're going to just fall into the school of fish that's swimming downstream. You want to be that fish that's going upstream, following the other ones that figures out like, oh, I'm not going that way because that leads to the same shit as we've been getting that's negative. I need to go back up here and see if maybe I could take a left, find a new route, a new journey. But then, as discussed at the top of this episode, you have to wonder, like, once I get so big, not only do I have to worry about haters online and, people talking shit, but then I have to worry about, like, did I get so big that I pissed off the federal government because they're not getting enough, they think, of what I'm doing? That's kind of what I fear for Rogan. It's like, all right, man, they let you get so big. At what point are they going to start insisting that? I don't know. We're seeing social media censorship and platforms regulating speeches and how you can say things and who can advertise and who can't, and cryptos are accepted, but now they need to be regulated. It's like we're in a pure wild, wild west, so everybody do whatever the fuck you want. That's my best advice to you. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'll tell you one thing I want to do after watching the last episode is never bounce my foot so much like this again in my life. I don't know why I did that. I recognize how much not only do I talk with my hands, but when I'm not talking with my hands, I'm apparently bouncing and spinning my foot. It was hella annoying for me to watch, so I'm sure it sucked for you guys. I apologize greatly for that. I'm going to try not to do that anymore because it was super annoying. All right, guys, check out everything we got going on over at the RoadToRedemptionPodcast.com where we got all the merch. Violently Caffeinated, you guys are loving it. On the TikToks and on the gram, more on the TikToks is loving the Violently Caffeinated stuff. Go grab it. I still have the discount code for 15% off is active. I was supposed to turn it off on Monday and just did not because you guys have been so great supporting, so I want to keep that going. It is spring 2022 is the discount code to save you 15% off the entire Road to Redemption podcast store. If you made it this far, please thumbs up the video, subscribe so that way you see everything when we publish it. If you want to see it as soon as I publish it, hit that little dingy bell and it'll let you know. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode.